And welcome back. This is The Guys Next Door. I'm your host, Ron Arenas, with Pastor John McLean as my co-host. Brought to you by Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Another week's gone by.
Another amazing week, and it's actually getting cooler on its own. Without
don't say that. I need it to be hot for a couple more months.
Well, we got to. You're going to go into the heater season, so I'm sure real soon we'll be talking about tips on that people should be looking out for to get that system.
Yeah, that's around Halloween though, probably.
Okay,
for sure. It's a little bit further.
But yeah, you still only have 4 hours of sleep for now until the season's over.
Right. But you know what season's coming up? Is football season.
Ooh, yeah.
That's my favorite season.
Me too. I've actually been getting really excited. Even watching, I've probably watched more preseason football this year than I have the past 5 years. So,
good. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, and you've been really stepping up your game, making it so we have some really cool coaches that we're talking to. So I'm not only am I excited to watch some football, I'm excited to talk to some football.
All right. Well, let's talk to a coach right now.
Okay.
On the phone, we have Coach Sly Lewis from Pueblo High School. How you doing, Coach?
Doing great. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. We're excited to talk to you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, Coach, you've been coaching here in the Tucson area for a long time, for many years. What brought you back to Pueblo?
Home.
I'm
an alumni. I'm alumni, and once the position came about, I was asked if I was interested, and ever since then, the ball got rolling, and I'm here now. So I actually grew up playing on these fields here at Pueblo High School.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's cool. And I guess speak to that more, because I know we've had before, I think it's Eric Langford we had on. He's the basketball coach for
Tucson High.
Tucson High, and he was talking about just how much it meant to not only him but his family, how it's always been a dream in a lot of ways to have that position, which didn't completely register for me. My dream is to do the work that I do, so that part I empathize with. But explain to me that probably something you can probably empathize with Eric in regard to taking this position, and maybe how this has possibly been a dream that you've had for a while.
Absolutely, and much respect to Coach Langford. He and his family, they're pillars here in Tucson.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing but respect for them. It really is. It's a dream come true. I really never thought that it would be possible, but I always said I like to finish my career. At one point in time, this is actually 2 years ago. I was here at Pueblo for a memorial service, and it was kind of a surreal moment, because I was talking to Coach Santa Cruz, and it was Coach Levetter's service. And
okay.
I said, before I finish, I would love to come back and coach here at home. And, you never know what's going to happen. But, at that time, really, it was, we were getting ready to gear up at Sabino for a state run. And, so once that happened, and then, it was kind of a relief in that happening. And then, getting the text of asking if I was going to be available to listen.
Mm-hmm.
It was just surreal, and it really, even right now, it's still surreal. I'm sitting in the office, and I'm like, man, this is crazy.
That's cool. That's cool.
But I have the keys to the building now. It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
but
right.
It's cool.
Well, congratulations, brother.
But that's the thing, throughout life, you're always planting seeds. And so you were planting those seeds for years and years, and finally you came home to harvest.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So how do you feel about this year's team?
We'll be young. I think there's a ton of growth that I've seen just in a little time that I've been here. We have about 9 seniors, but contributing, I would say, 5. So I'm a big proponent, over my coaching career, you go how your seniors go.
Right.
But, as you look forward in anything right now, whether it's the NFL, college football, high school, there are younger kids that are contributing. So you just these days, people are just ready at an early time now. So again, I think there's going to be a lot of growth. Obviously the young guys they're coming along. It's just like anything, experience. The more reps you get, the better you get. So
That's
I'm
cool.
excited for that challenge. They've been working extremely hard in the weight room, off the field, and on the field as well. So I'm excited for this challenge.
So speaking of the challenge, like, what is it like, kind of coaching up a younger squad to that character, that champion quality caliber that you would want them to be versus, having that older, more experienced group that are, you're through them, they're teaching that younger group.
Just teaching our way, the warrior way. That's the phrase that we use all the time. It starts with discipline. If you are disciplined in anything that you do, you're going to have success out of it. Because there's a lot of people that, how consistent can you do it? Maybe for a day, maybe for two. And even yesterday in our team meeting, the talk was, how we need to play for each other. And I think that is something that, we will definitely see who's going to be there, when tough times are, going to be there, because nothing ever goes right in football,
Just like in life.
You can say what you want to say, you can plan how you want to plan, but, the other teams are practicing just as well as you are. So
Right.
it's a really cool thing. And the question was, how are you living your life? Are you living your life with meaning right now, or are you doing it just to do it? And I think if you can answer that question with, I'm doing it with all my purpose, then you're going to help your team, because they're going to see that. They're going to see that effort that you put in every single day. We call it the daily deposits.
Yeah, that's right. Definitely. So do you have any position players returning?
Up front, there's a couple of guys. Saul Salaya, he's our center. He was a varsity guy last year. Armando Ibarra, he's a tackle, defensive end kid. And then Jesus Cabrera, running back kid. Andres Carpenter, running back as well, receiver. And Adam Moreno, he's a returner in the DB room. But other than that, the guys that are, the supporting cast, really, really young, and not a lot of varsity experience.
Okay. I'm pretty familiar with Pueblo because my son played over at CDO, and so they're in the same division, the 4A Keno region. So, he played against Pueblo every year for the last 4 years.
It's a very tough region.
It is.
You have defending state champion CDO. You have Micah Mountain, you have Saguaro, you have Catfoot, and then you have Walden Grove. So it's a tough feat.
Yeah.
And I got in my notes here that your first game's August 31st at 10 a.m. Versus Nogales. How can people plug in, other than showing up to the game? How can they support you and get behind your football team, what you guys are doing?
Well, we have social media accounts. We have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. For us older people,
For sure.
So they can get behind it in that and follow, and then also too, our games will be played on NFHS, so they can sign up for that. I want to say that's like a $11 monthly fee or something like that to follow games.
Oh, okay.
And we're excited. We'll be broadcasting our games as well here, live streaming, and we're excited for the season. Saturday, August 31st, that's 10 days away. I'm looking at the ticker right now. It's going to be here before you know it.
Right. Why a Saturday game?
So from what I understand, there's a shortage of referees. And so they asked everyone to move a game to kind of accommodate that.
Okay.
And so our first initial, it was either Thursday or Friday, or Thursday or Saturday.
All right. Well,
And
thank
I
you so
said,
much,
well,
Coach.
Thank you, Coach, for being on. We're coming up against the break. That was Coach Sly Lewis from Pueblo High School. Good luck this season.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Well, this has been The Guys Next Door, brought to you by Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. I'm here with the coolest guy in Tucson, Mr. Ron Arenas. I'm Pastor John McClain with Veteran Rescue Mission. I want to thank our sponsors, Piper Family Painting, Tucson Tamale, Tucson Pack and Ship, Steamy Concepts, and Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
And welcome back. This is The Guys Next Door. I'm your host, Ron Arenas, with Pastor John McClain, brought to you by Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, keeping you cool all summer long.
That's true.
Yeah.
And warm all winter long.
Yeah, those 3 days of winter.
Yeah, and if you have any, and they're number one and the number two business.
That's right. Just ask Frank.
Yeah, ask Frank the Tank. He'll let you know.
Yeah. Well, what a great interview with Coach Lewis
Yeah.
from Pueblo High School. I think he's going to do a really good job over there.
That was cool. I mean, I always love whenever you bring on football coaches, they all have their own kind of, their different characteristics and their own kind of unique niche and what they're working on with their players. But discipline, character seem to be reoccurring themes, and certainly it was the story of hearing somebody live a dream that they had for a long time,
coming back home. Yeah.
Not only is it awesome hearing people fulfilling that dream, but it's cool hearing that all of us have such different dreams.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
And every time I say that to them, I always feel like I hopefully they don't take it offensively that my dream wasn't to be the Pueblo head football coach. I have a different set of dreams, but it's like to hear that and just to like hear the passion in his voice talking about it, hearing someone talking about living out a dream they had maybe as a kid.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, talking about hanging out with great guys.
Great guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm making me jealous during the break telling me about hanging out with our next guest. Yeah.
Right. We have one of our favorites in today, James Piper from Piper Family Painting.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, how you doing?
We're doing
Good,
great.
brother.
We're doing
Thank you
great.
for having me back.
Yeah, we love having you here.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's
you're-
like having a cousin, one of our cousins in studio with us.
That's
All
right.
I can
That's
dig
right.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Cuzzo, I love it.
Good old Cuzzo, yeah.
You're part of our family now. You're stuck.
We are part of the Piper family.
That's right.
I
The
love
Piper
that.
family painting. Give
That's
us a
right.
brush.
That's right. The family just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about Piper Family Painting.
So Piper Family Painting, we are Tucson based and we serve all of Tucson, Marana, Oro Valley, Sarita, I think I said that correctly. Green Valley, we serve a lot of areas all over the place. We are licensed for residential and commercial painting work.
Very nice.
Yep, we do interior painting, custom painting, and exterior custom painting as well too. We love painting cabinets. It's one of our favorite things to do, and it makes a huge impact.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody ever say that before. I think that's like
That they like
a
painting.
Piper family painting original statement.
Right.
We love painting cabinets.
I'm a little weird like that. You
Yeah.
know, you don't get 35 years without really loving sanding doors.
Well, it's definitely a niche. There's
It
not
is.
very many people that do cabinets.
Right. And we
Yeah.
love doing them, and we have a great process for it. And if you're looking to make like a gigantic impact in your home and not spend a lot of money, refinishing your cabinets is the way to go. That's the way
It
to go.
does. So we were talking off camera a little bit about some bad advice that you can get from a paint store. So just if Pastor John or I walk into a paint store and we're like, hey, we feel like we're going to paint a room or something, and we get advice just from the local guy at the paint store, that's probably not the best idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on what paint store you're going to. I mean, this might come as a surprise, but the guys that work at Home Depot, a lot of those guys don't have hands-on experience.
Right.
If you go to a Sherwin-Williams or a Dunn-Edwards, you can get a better advice, but you have to be careful because a lot of those guys still don't have the hands-on experience that comes in this industry. So I always say, number one, if you wanted to take on a DIY project for yourself, and I would, Piper Family Painting promotes DIY projects. Not every project we need to do, and I'm all about sharing information. And I guess the first thing you might want to consider is asking the guy at the paint counter or gal at the paint counter what their knowledge is, what type of
okay.
experience they
Interesting.
have. All right, it's not rude to ask them that.
Mhm.
You know, some of the gallons of paint that come out of the stores are $50+ a gallon.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That's pretty
yeah.
expensive.
Paint's not cheap anymore.
It is not cheap, and you have to make sure that they're not just trying to meet a quota,
Mhm.
or they're not trying to push a product. And I'm not trying to throw shade at this industry, right? But you know, it's hard to find people, and it's hard to find quality people that understand the chemistry of painting.
Mhm.
So number one would be absolutely to inquire as to what their background is.
Yeah.
And even if their advice does sound credible, cross-check it
Mm.
before you commit to $200 worth of painting supplies and brushes and rollers,
Yeah.
just to find out that the paint's not going to work out for you.
Mhm. Interesting. Yeah, that kind of, I mean, that dynamic you're speaking of kind of reminds me of, you know, O'Reilly's or AutoZone, where, you know, they got everything you need in there, you know, every single part that you could possibly think of. But unfortunately, you know, the guys that work there aren't ASC certified. They haven't worked in mechanic shops for the past 10 or 15 years. So, you know, to ask their mechanical advice, that's probably not the best bet. I have to do my research, have to check with the experts before I do go get those parts. So yeah, I could see where at the minimal, even talking with you guys and saying, okay, is this even the right paint, would be a big, probably save a lot of money, save a lot of time in comparison to just going into that minefield blind and hoping that you don't walk over a mine.
That's right, and it can happen really easy.
Yeah.
Really, really easy.
It's always better to do the job once than have to do it twice or
Right.
3 times.
Or call me back in.
Yeah.
You know, to say, James, I tried to, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
You need to come in and fix this.
Now you have to strip this paint off and then redo it.
That's correct. That's
Right.
correct.
So one of your other points that you said is beware of generic recommendations.
Yes, and understanding the knowledge of the guy that work at the paint counter or gal, right? Beware of those generic recommendations that would come from somebody who doesn't have a lot of knowledge in that background. For instance, if you splattered some red sauce on your wall in your kitchen when you were cooking, you can absolutely choose a paint and primer in one to cover that up. But if you have bare wood, paint and primer in one is not going to work for you.
Oh,
You have
okay.
to put a specific primer on bare wood. All right,
To seal it?
To seal it before you can put any acrylic paint on top of it. And a lot of people just don't know that.
Yeah.
They don't know that there is a huge variety of primers. 10, 12 different primers for 10, 12 different applications. So understanding that, doing your own research after you've spoken with somebody at the counter goes a long way.
Right. So you need to know, you pretty much need to know at least your specifics of your project before you go into the paint store.
Correct.
If you're going to do a DIY.
That's right.
Yeah.
Are you painting drywall? Are you painting wood? Are you painting plastic? Is it metal?
Yeah.
Is it outside? Is it inside?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it starts with you kind of formulating these things at home, saying, okay, well, what am I actually painting? What do I need to happen here? What is the desired outcome that I'm looking for? This will help a long way when you go in and talk to your paint store guys.
Yeah.
And let's say you're going into a place and they're really pushing a particular type of paint or particular product. Like, what should you do in those type of situations, or what should you look out for?
I would always question the push. Always. Where's it coming from? You know, every once in a while, somebody will buy too much of one paint, and you know, from a business standpoint, the store manager is just looking to clear his inventory, right?
Yeah.
And it might work towards you, for you, but that goes back to doing your homework, getting online. You know, maybe you call the paint store and you have a conversation with them ahead of time. You know, to vet some of your own questions, to make sure that you know what you're asking for before you go in. But you have to be aware of that push. You know, quotas are real. They're, you know, all paint stores, whether it's Dunn Edwards or the Bear line at Home Depot, they have quotas. They purchase and manufacture a lot of paint, and they need to get that out the door. So, you know, making sure that you know what you're doing and not falling victim to that is really important.
And like, not to name any names, but I'm guessing you've had your own experiences in that realm where either they were trying to push something on you, or you just kind of had, you know, an unsavory experience, and you're kind of passing that knowledge along.
That's absolutely correct. You know, it's easy for me to just depend on the guy at the counter All right, because I'm all over the place sometimes. I have a lot of stuff going on, and I want to trust that those guys know what they're doing. And I've been burned a couple of times, you know, where I've had to question myself. What I've learned and what I do to beat that in the curve is every gallon of paint that's produced in this country comes with two sets of paperwork, a TDS sheet and an SDS sheet.
Okay.
Your technical data sheet and your safety data sheet. You can go to any website for any paint manufacturer or paint store and go to a specific product, say Duration from Sherwin-Williams. Scroll down on their product information and find these two tabs. All right. This will tell you everything you need to know about the paint. If you could reduce it, how to spray it, what size tips you should use, what type of brushes you should use. It goes all the way. It's
Wow.
nobody ever takes advantage of these technical data sheets that are mandated by the government because it's a chemical. Paint is a chemical, and it needs to be treated as such. And I would always recommend pull the safety data sheets.
Yeah.
What does this product do in terms of safety? Is it known to cause cancer? Does it cause cancer if you spray it? There's a lot of things that we just don't know until we spend 10 minutes reading two sheets of paper that will break down exactly how this product works.
Right. And so Piper Family Painting has a program. I believe it's called Painter for the Day.
Painter for the Day, yes, sir.
And so if I wanted just one of my bedrooms painted or just some baseboards or something like that, can you tell us about the program?
Yeah, we love this program. A lot of clients don't want us to come in and paint their entire home. They just have some baseboards that the dog chewed up, that they see during coffee every morning that drives them crazy. Okay, so our project is essentially you're renting a painter. You're renting one of Piper Family's painters for the day, and for one price, you get the consultation for your project. All the materials and paints are covered, and you get the service of a licensed bonded professional for 8 hours worth of work. And our painters can get a lot of stuff done. We can paint a bedroom. We can paint those baseboards. We can pressure wash your house. We can fix stucco. There's a lot of things that a qualified painter can do from Piper Family Painting in 8 hours. It's cost effective. It's just one price, $450. Gets it done.
Nice. And
Very
for
nice.
people who want to utilize your services, how can they do that?
Well, you can find me at my website, www.piperfamilypainting.com. And you could also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Piper Family Painting.
Nice. And then what's one last takeaway you want to leave our listeners with before we go?
Don't be afraid to ask for professional help. Don't be afraid to go into the paint store and ask to talk to your sales rep there. Your rep there, the manager, are going to be much more knowledgeable than just the guy at the table.
Right.
So that would be my tip. Don't be afraid to ask to speak to your guy.
I appreciate it.
Well, that's James Piper with Piper Family Painting. Thank you, James, for being here with us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, Piper Family Painting, Tucson Tamale, Tucson Pack and Ship, Steamy Concepts, and Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Yeah, thank you so much. And also go to veteranrescuemission.org to find out more about the show, more about the work we do, go to picturerockscooling.com to get a consultation with them if you got a cooling, heating, or plumbing issue. And remember, Rod, remember.
I probably won't remember.
At the end of every day,
There's night.
it's night. Yeah.
Outside of that, yeah, you just want to say about it. Okay. From it, and want water or anything? Awesome.
Yeah, I got a message 2 days ago. I was like, yeah, no problem. He's the founder of Together Traffic now. Yeah. So, I was like, oh, that's cool. It's fun. It's fun. Cool. Thank you. It's an amazing group to be part of. So, I met Jen through my husband. We've been friends for through my family today. So what can I do? So, Yeah.
Yeah, we're not responsible for this bug.